Oh, man. I'm in my 65th year, man. 65th year. And still, going back to 1964, as a young child, and my parents and my cousins and my aunts and uncles influenced me with the Beatles. And the Beatles had an impact on me. And it started all those years ago. Bands, artists, musical artists started touching me, grabbing my soul, grabbing my heart and spirit, and pulling me along, helping me through each day. Music has been such a big part of my life, boys and girls, I'm telling you. And all through the years since the 60s, every once in a while, a musical artist or a band will hit me, as I'm sure it hits you, and grabs you and just pulls you in and gives you hope again that, you know, when you least expect it, a musical artist comes along and just makes you feel good about life again and about yourself and about rock and roll, and that, you know, it ain't dead. Well, it happened to me recently, folks. And I did a couple of videos about this artist last year. But let me give you the background a little bit. 2 years ago, 2023, there's a band that formed in Massachusetts called All Sinners. And I'm a power pop guy. I'm a melody guy. You know that. But I've also told you in the past, I'm also a heavy rock and roll guy. I love hard rock and I like some metal, certain types. But the big one for me is melodic metal. That's the big one. Well, in 2023, I heard a self-titled EP by this artist, this band, All Sinners. And I loved it. I loved it. It grabbed me. It got me getting back into hard rock again and listening to my old CDs, vinyl, and yep, even my cassettes that I had from the 80s. I was into it again. And this band grabbed me. In particular, they had a single out on this EP called Believer. And that song particularly grabbed a hold of me, everybody. It just grabbed me. It wouldn't let go. I couldn't hear it enough. Believer. And they made a believer out of me, All Sinners, let me tell you. It reminded me of those heavy bands, the ones I loved in the 1970s when I was in middle school and high school. I'm still into my music from the 60s, the Beatles, the Stones, the Kinks, the Who, bop, 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 bop. But in the 70s, I got into the hard rock. And all those bands, those melodic, heavy bands from the 70s, All Sinners reminded me of them. The joy, the passion. And all the artists I loved in the 80s that were considered hard rock or metal, or for me, the ones I really particularly liked was the melodic metal in the 80s. All Sinners reminded me of that. Took a little bit of the 70s influences, a little bit of the 80s hard rock influences, and even into the 90s. The 90s, there was a few bands in the 90s that really grabbed me, that I loved. Hard rock, metal, not all of it, because a lot of it factioned off into different branches that I just couldn't get into, like this death metal and what do they call it? Some people call it Cookie Monster metal. I'm Cookie Monster. I'm the cookies. Couldn't get into that kind of crap. Couldn't get into the doom metal or the whatever this metal and that metal. But if it was heavy and it was metal and it was melodic, I loved it. And All Sinners reminded me of all these bands. And the last time a band did this to me, a melodic, heavy band pulled me in and made me a fan from the first note, was back in over 20 years ago, 2003, when The Darkness came out with Permission to Land, their first album. And I've been a fan of the Darkness ever since. I've seen them live several times. I've been with my sons to see the Darkness. Love them. All Sinners did it for me. They grabbed me like the Darkness did back in 2003, but 20 years later, and I loved it. So I got the EP, and I saw them that they had a Live at the Whiskey EP, and I grabbed that. And I made a video about it over a year ago. I made a couple of videos about All Sinners because then I got to see them live opening for Ace Frehley at the Woonsocket Stadium Theater in Rhode Island a little over a year ago with my younger brother, and we loved it because it was a double great bill for me. All Sinners and Ace Frehley. Can't beat it. I was hooked. And they gave me that, like I said, that faith and that hope that rock and roll still breathed there. And it lived. And it was living right in my own home state because that's where All Sinners are from. They are from Massachusetts, New Bedford. How can you beat it? Well, folks, this coming Friday, November 14th, they are coming out with their first full-length album, LP, on Rat Pack Records. And no one can be happier than I can be because I went over to Rat Pack Records. I went to this site and then they took me to Rat Pack Records and you were able to get all kinds of bundles and cool things and multiple configurations, like I said. And I got the Super Deluxe baby. I did. I got the one that has it all, man. It has the vinyl. It has the CD. It has the cassette. It has pictures and stickers and autographs from the band. Multiple autographs. I'm going to tell you all about it. The LP, the vinyl, has 11 tracks on it. But the CD has 2 bonus tracks, 2 of their earlier smash songs, one of them being Believer. So if you get this new album, you can hear the song that really grabbed on to Matthew Street, Moi, Believer. It's on the CD as a bonus track. Now, let me give you some background before we go. The new album is called We Own the Night. Like I said, it's on Rat Pack Records. It's coming out this Friday, the 14th. You got Mike Golars on lead vocals and guitar. You got Bruce Morrison. He is playing bass and vocals as well. You have Nick Testone on guitar, shredding, melodic lead guitar and vocals. And the great Roger Chernard on drums. Owner of Purchase Street Records in New Bedford. Go check out Purchase Street Records in New Bedford if you get the chance. It's one of the greatest independently owned record stores in the nation, bar none. And like I said, the band, when I first got into them was 2023, a couple of years ago, and that's when they were founded. That's when they were formed and came out with the 4-track EP, self-titled. They came out with the live EP. They have an unplugged EP. But now, this is the first full length, man. This is the one. Let me describe them as best I can. First of all, let me say this. How many bands do you know have a philosophy? Think about that for a minute. Do you know of any musical artist that have a philosophy? That say, hey, here's who we are. We are all sinners, and this is our philosophy. I'm going to show it to you while I'm speaking here. At some point, I'm going to put it up here. I did a screenshot of their philosophy. And that impressed me so much when I read what their philosophy is, and you'll get to see it here. That impressed me so much. Like, what kind of band, what kind of good people think, hey, we got to come up with a philosophy for this band and express it to our audience and to the world and let them know who we are and what we're all about. I give them a lot of credit for that. Wait till you see what their philosophy is. It's just mind-blowing. It just impressed me very, very much, folks, because I can't think of another artist music-wise that has something like this. Their sound is very unique because they're taking the sound of 80s hard rock, 80s metal, a little bit of British and UK metal is thrown in, and that heavy melodic hard rock sound thrown in the blender. But It's not all retro or nostalgia, folks. You got that aspect of it with, if you're a fan of those genres and that type of heavy music, it's going to pull you in. But it's blended. That nostalgia, that retro, that nod or salute to the past is blended with a modern melodic metal sound. You got that? Melodic metal sound. And that's what I'm all about, man. The melody, the hooks, the things that pull you in, whether it's the vocal hooks, the guitar hooks, the bass hooks, the drumming hooks, the band hooks, the music hooks, the song hooks, the lyrics. It pulls you in and it won't let go. I'm telling you, I haven't felt this passionate about a band of this caliber in a long time. Now, as I said, they've shared the stage with Ace Frehley. I saw them last year. Opening for Ace, and they did it numerous times. God bless Ace. Rest in peace, good man. Gonna miss Ace. But so happy I got to see All Sinners and Ace Frehley in the same show on the same stage. But they've also opened for Stephen Percy from Rat, LA Guns, Queensryche, Dangerous Toys, among others. So they've got a good pedigree with opening for a lot of major label artists. And their live performances are just so exciting, folks. I've only seen them once thus far. Hope to see them again in the coming months somewhere. But a very exciting communal live experience when you see All Sinners. Absolutely fabulous. Let me tell you a little bit about the band real quick, and then I want to show you my super pack I got. You got Roger, the drummer, as I said. He's from Wareham or Cape Cod area originally. Now lives in New Bedford, runs Purchase Street Records in New Bedford. He's the curator and the CEO there, so to speak. And his love for music comes through his family. His uncle Bobby, back in the day, was the drummer for Billy Squier. Good pedigree there. He loves dogs. Hey, anyone who's a fan of dogs, I love dogs. Anyone who loves dogs, they're a friend to me. So Roger loves dogs. He loves hanging out at Purchase Street Records and making people happy by finding the music they love for them. You have Mike. He's originally from Indiana, now from Massachusetts, obviously. And as a child, he moved here very, very young. So he was in the Midwest for a while, then came to the Northeast as a young boy. And he loved Kiss since the age of 7. And I'm quite a bit older than Mike, I'm sure. But I was quite older when I got into Kiss. But I love that Mike loves Kiss. He loves being part of All Sinners and being part of this band. And who can blame him? It's a great band. You got Bruce. He's also originally from Cape Cod, now from Southeastern Mass. He loves Jack Bruce. He loves Geezer Butler. So many bass influences for Bruce. He loves heavy rock. He's just always been into that style of music. He has an older brother, Wayne, who is a big influence on him. He just loves performing for the audience. Can't beat that. The guy lives for him pleasing his audience. And then you got Nick from Onset, Mass, which is down near Cape Cod, real southeastern portion of the state. And he loves Ozzy, he loves Metallica, he loves Pantera. He loves that connection he makes with the fans when he plays live and outside of gigs, meeting fans on the street and stuff. He loves that. And he, like Roger, loves dogs. So hats off to Nick for loving dogs. And he's a trailblazer. He likes to get out there and hike and do some trails in the local area. Good for him. Keep active, keep busy. That's what I say at my age. And folks, I got to tell you about this new album now. Now, here is the vinyl. Again, I got the super pack, so I got everything. I got the super vinyl. It's on regular black vinyl. Now, there are color variations of this album you can get from different outlets. I don't have all the details on where you can get that, but I went to the Rat Pack website, their record label's website, to get this. And again, you got credits, lyrics, all the lyrics back here. And again, I won't pull it all the way out here, but it's on standard black vinyl. All right, can't beat that. Fabulous. Here's the CD. Now, like I said, the vinyl only has 11 tracks, but if you want the 2 bonus tracks, including one of my favorite songs of theirs, Believer, you got to get the CD. It's in a nice jewel case. And you got the 2 extra bonus tracks on there. Here's the inside. You get a few extra pictures with the CD as well. There's Mike, lyrics. I mean, this is just a beautiful package, folks. They really did it right, the band, with this. They obviously know what they're doing. They care about what they're doing. They care about the fans, and you can't beat it. It's just so well done. It pulls you right in. It makes you feel the spirit, feel the joy, and you want to be part of it. You want to be part of what's happening with All Sinners, because they just know how to make you feel good about yourself, and the music just makes you want to cheer and shout and jump up and down. It's that good. And what I really liked cool that came in the big padded envelope was that another little padded envelope was all sealed up inside, bubble wrap, with a cool All Sinners logo on one side, and then the cover of the album on the other side of the bag. Isn't that cool? And then when you open it up, this is the slip cover that goes over the CD. Like this. It's cardboard slip cover. Has the back of the album here, but what was cool about it is the guys all signed it for me. They sign it for you. If you get this super deluxe package, they signed the CD cover, and then as you open it up further, you get the cassette, all sealed there, and I don't know where I put it. I don't know if I have it to show you. I apologize, but let me show you this first. You get a cardboard inner sleeve, a little smaller than the size of an album, maybe about 10, 11 inches, signed by the band, again, the cover of the album. Like one of those hard stock paper things like you'd see in record stores back in the day when they'd hang them up on the wall of all the different albums and stuff. And inside the album is very cool. If I can find it here. There it is. What they did is, remember back in the day when Kiss would do things like all our gear? They have a gear paper, a fan paper inside where you can order all kinds of cool All Sinners gear on a little order sheet. Isn't that neat? You just don't see this nowadays, folks. You just don't see it. So you get that as well. And the thing I'm missing, and it figures, oh no, I'm not missing it. Oh, I put it inside here. I thought I was missing my stickers in that. I couldn't find them, but I remember what I did now. I wanted to protect them and keep them good, so I put them inside the little autograph CD covering thing here. So let me show you that right now. You get a little small card of the album cover. Little cardboard cover there. You get a cool sticker from Rat Pack Records. You get a cool, like almost like a cloth-laden sticker, like as if you're a backstage pass VIP to an All Sinners show. Isn't that cool? And you get a cool official All Sinners guitar pick. That is ultimate. I love that. Very, very cool. So you're getting a lot of cool stuff here, folks, and very generous of the band to do this in Rat Pack Records. They know how to do it right, and they did it right. Now, I'm not going to go through every song. I don't want this to be too long. I know I've already droned on a little bit, but I just love this band and this album so much, folks. But let me tell you this as I grab the album cover here. My favorites well, there's no bad cuts on this album, folks. There is no bad cuts. It's all killer, no filler. But some of my favorites are the opening track, Embers Rising, which is a 1-minute instrumental which sets the tone, sets the vibe and the mood for what's to come. And it leads right into the first single called Into the Flames. I absolutely love it. What a great song, Into the Flames. Go check it out right now on any streaming service. But, you know, buy the album. Support this band, folks. Get the material. Get the physical copy. Into the Flames is, one of my top favorites on this album. But there's no letdown on this album, because then you go into We Own the Night, Lead Me Into Darkness, The Wave. I'll try to show you as best I can here. The Wave, So Evil. They're all fabulous. All 4 of those tracks are killer. They are absolutely great. I don't know if that's a good way to show it or not. Maybe with this one it'd be a little better. No glare, as much glare. Then you got a triple threat of Dead to Rights, Death from Echoes, and World That's Burning. Those three songs alone are probably my favorite triplet of the album. Dead to Rights, Death from Echoes, and World That's Burning, just boom, 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 one after the other. And if I have to pick a favorite on this album, I don't know. I love them all, folks, but Death from Echoes might be my favorite. It's so melodic. It's so catchy. That's what I loved about Believer, the melodicism of it, the catchiness of it, the hookiness of it. So I love everything on this album, but I think Death from Echoes might be my favorite on the album. Let me go further here. Then you have Wake Up and Stay, The Reason, which is the end of the regular vinyl album, The Reason, okay? But if you get the CD, you then have two bonus tracks, The Hunted and Believer, which are from the earlier EP release, and they are fabulous and a great bonus for you to get if you don't have those EPs. So folks, you just cannot beat what you're getting here from material and quality of the heavy metal rock and roll music. I know I've gone on, folks, here, but I wanted to get as much information out to you as I could about this band. I don't care if it's long. I'm sorry. But please, I'm going to put the link to Rat Pack Records and to All Sinners in the description box below. Check it out, man. I'm telling you. You know me. I love my 60s music. I love my Beatles. Love my Oasis. I love my heavy rock and roll, too. And I love All Sinners. And they are, without a doubt, one of the best current new rock and roll bands out there today, bar none. You need to check it out, folks. It'll be coming out officially this Friday, November 14th on Rat Pack Records. We Own the Night by All Sinners. Be there. Check it out. Order it. At the bare minimum, stream it, love it, and then order it. But support new music. Physical CDs, cassettes, vinyl. Support it. Purchase it. It's great. And rock out. And tell me if you're not doing some really cool headbanging by the end of next week when you get the All Sinners We Own the Night album. That's it from me, Matthew Street. All Sinners, thank you. Can't wait to see you live very soon, I hope. Peace and love. Talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.
If I find or hear the individual that has said that about me, I'm going to break your goddamn neck, you son of a bitch.